Alright, Terrence Popp here with another episode from the Lair. And I want to apologize for the episode that came out a couple days ago, but I basically had a golf ball sized tumor cut off the side of my spine, and I was on some painkillers, kind of felt like I was getting struck by lightning, and it was running down my spine and shooting out of my ass. So, what are you going to do? But it's only a dull pain now, so I think I could drive on. The show must go on, and pain bothers some people a lot more than others. What is my opinion on the Griffin picture of her holding the severed head of Trump? Okay, yeah, I saw that. I thought it was pretty stupid. What the fuck, you're not thinking it through? What the hell? I mean, the country of the United States elected him as the president, and doing something like that is tantamount to treason. I'll have the Secret Service knocking on your door. It's never going to go anywhere good. Not to mention it probably severely hampered your career, which was probably on the way to the toilet anyway, because basically, Miss Griffin, you look like you age in like a bucket of curdled milk. Redhead rule, man. They age off a fucking cliff. Yeah, your height might proportion it, but unfortunately your brain pan is not. Okay, here we go. Your new word for the mentally unstable women, called narcissistic, is degrading. Also, looking at a woman's medicine cabinet is an invasion of her privacy. Get a clue. Okay, I'll get a clue from the game Clue. So you look in the closet to find out if she's on head meds, so you don't get killed in the study with the wrench. So fuck, dude. I mean, if she's not going to tell you straight up that she's crazy, and you have to do some investigating yourself, first thing you do when you open that medicine cabinet, you see there's some crazy shit in there, you shut it, you do your business, you leave, you say, I got shit to do, you leave, you never come back. Never fucking, don't deal with crazy. It's too expensive nowadays. Don't even fuck with it. Okay, somebody left a comment. 30 years from now, one half of the population will be unemployed due to mechanization. How will it play out? Okay, I'm going to tell you how it's going to play out. You get a lot of people sitting around doing nothing. You get a lot of bad shit going on. So I'm pretty sure that the population is going to probably take a steep decline, with a lot of people being involuntarily evicted from their meat suits. It happens, so they get caught up in the two-way rifle range. Things happen, vada voom, vada ving. You're on the other side waiting to get recycled. Okay, let's see. Oh, here we go. Single mother comment. I'm a single mother, and your video about single mothers was very disturbing to me. Why do you find it okay to bash on single mothers? If you're a single mother because your significant other passed away, then this doesn't apply to you. If you're a single mother because the person that you married legitimately throttled the shit out of you and you had to leave for your own safety, I'm going to give a partial pass on that one because, when you point the finger at somebody else, there's always three pointing back at you, so you made a bad decision. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But a large majority of these single mothers are single mothers by choice. 2/3 of women initiate divorce, and once women complete college, usually their divorce rate is, 70, 80, 90%, depending upon which study you look at. I mean, you Google it yourself. You're cutting an important influence out of your children's lives because the courts are skewed against the men. The evidence is out there that these children are getting mauled in the real world when they become adults, and some of them don't even make it to adulthood because they commit suicide. So I think being a single mother in today's day and age voluntarily is probably one of the single greatest selfish goddamn things you could fucking do. So if you call that bashing on you, and this is just the truth, the stats are there, the prisons are full of the fatherless, and if that makes you upset that I'm telling the truth and you consider it bashing, then you're part of the problem and you certainly aren't anywhere near the solution, so go to hell. Okay, somebody asked a question on the single justice warrior's influence on Hollywood and media. Let's see, Marvel is having upheaval in comic book sales and the stopping of storylines. And please explain why many are boycotting, such movies and, other Hollywood bullshit. The average person walking around has an IQ roughly over 100. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it's more than enough to determine when you're being brainwashed. And a lot of these people are like, hey, fuck this. I don't want anything to do with it. It's stupid. And I'm going to tell you right now, the whole Ghostbusters movie, the remake, was a huge flop. Everyone knew it was going to be a flop, but I don't know who the hell was pulling the strings up there at Sony and said it would be a great idea not only to make this movie, but fund 2 more after it, which I don't know. I think they pulled the plug on them. Because money talks and bullshit walks. And people like what they like. Men like to see hot chicks in video games. It is what it is. There's a formula that Hollywood's been using for almost a century, and when they follow a script to this particular formula, usually 8 out of 10 times it's going to be a moneymaker. You deviate from that formula, all right, if you want to do that, who's going to be first in line to lose their goddamn money? I said the same thing at Gamersgate when feminism is trying to change the gaming culture and tell men that are at home playing these video games that they're bad for looking at these feminine characters that are unrealistic. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm a dude, and dudes like to look at tits and ass. It is what it is. Some people like more, some people like less. So the single justice warriors are going to basically tank a lot of fucking companies trying to change people's minds out there, and they can just go to hell. Okay. Okay, do you think MGTOW and Red Pill men will ever reverse course? That's like telling somebody who's been awakened to go dumb again. Okay, this is not going to happen. I mean, I got my rude awakening in court when I got fucked out of my kids, and my now, former wife was doing absolutely reprehensible bullshit. Nobody gave a damn. But my wounds and my military was used against me to, take my kids away. While that's going on, I'm like, this doesn't sound right. This is wrong. And then, I asked some questions, and, it opened my eyes that there's a lot of crazy ass shit going on out there. And I think men today are absolutely correct to just walk off the fucking lot. I mean, if the financing charges of getting into that car are so high that you'll never be able to pay them back, then get a fucking horse, or better yet, walk or ride a bike. You stay in better shape that way. So yeah, unless the laws change or the money stops and there's a big upheaval and a lot of people wind up dead, I don't really think MGTOW Red Pill guys are ever going to change course. As for me, I will never get married again. I may or may not in the future entertain the idea of having a girlfriend. I don't know. She'd have to be pretty cool and hot at the same time. And I've noticed as I've got older that those two things are in short supply, with the good looking going down the shithole rapidly, especially if you're a redhead like Griffin. Alrighty, let's see. What do you think? I don't know. Let me rephrase that. What is your take on NATO, and why do you think it's so ineffective? Okay, well, it's ineffective because basically America funds the whole goddamn thing, and it's bogged down by a whole bunch of bureaucracy. And when people are getting put to the sword hand over fist, and you have to go through 3 levels of red tape just to get the clear to go in there and stop it, it's already done by the time you get the clearance. So what good is it? Not to mention that the people in NATO aren't paying their share or contributing the supplies needed to maintain their prior agreements. So if they're not going to maintain their maintain their agreements, and we have to pay for everything ourselves, then fuck NATO. They just fuck them. They don't need to exist. The hell with them. All right, this guy here. What is your criteria on the Pimp Tart Wife-stitute episodes? I have so many ideas to send you. When I think of a Pimp Tart Wife-stitute episode, I think of blatant stupidity, usually marriages that are shorter than 10 years. I will go up to like 10 or 15, especially if there's Chris Rock with a 10-year prenup in there. But, a lot of times it's just so fucking obvious that these women are getting married because they're going for the cash and prizes down the road. They get married, they use the guy to have a couple kids, and then they I'm not happy, heave-ho his ass. He's out of their life, but he has to pay for the kids, and he's liable for any bullshit that they do. So, yeah, I mean, there you go. That's usually, that's the Pimp Tart Wife suit right there. Now, this article I'm talking about here is from Return of Kings. It's about a female medical student over in England who not only assaulted her boyfriend, but stabbed him too. Basically, the courts are saying she's too intelligent and pretty for jail. Okay, here is a picture of her. I don't know what the hell she's doing there, cleaning a boat or something. But after stabbing somebody, cleaning a boat is probably pretty lenient punishment. Just saying. Okay, so not only did she stab this dude, she threw a laptop at him, a glass, a jar. Her name is Lavinia Woodward, and apparently she comes from money. And she was on track to become an aspiring heart surgeon. Well, I hate to say this, but there's a lot of aspiring people who are very talented who are in fucking prison because they did fucked up shit. Throwing a laptop in a glass or whatever, getting pissed off. That's still domestic violence, but in my realm, if you're not hit with it, it's more of a scuffle. But when you take a knife and you thrust it into another person's flesh, that is intent to kill. That's attempted murder, and you should be doing a minimum of probably 5 to 7 years, and not to mention that you've had run-ins with the law before in regards to being a drug addict. So you're going to become a doctor, but you're going to have free access to drugs and you have a drug habit. Oh, that's right. Your father is a senior oil company executive, so that says it all right there. He's going to basically buy you out of, purgatory because, you come from wealth. I personally think this woman should have her ass kicked over her head so it becomes a hat. And maybe after she suffers for a good 1 to 5 years in prison, she might have an awakening. Okay, let's see. Here's your typical female drug user, I guess, in England. And they do get less sentences than men do. But in this particular case, she went to jail for, I think it was 18 to 24 months. And still has to do parole when she gets out while the other one is cleaning a fucking boat. Okay, and her defense, this is hilarious. An ex-boyfriend had abused her. That is why, she was under so much stress and she assaulted this individual. Because he didn't do shit, but her ex-boyfriend fucked with her, so she decided it's okay to stab him. I'm not buying it. She jets out to Milan with her mother and her family. She attends Oxford University, which is one of the most socially prestigious universities in England. Basically, they've talked about possibly expelling her from Oxford, where another individual from that university was, I believe, here he is. Ben Sullivan was kicked out of the university. This is, I have to get more sources on this, but this is what I'm saying here. Ben Sullivan was kicked out of the university and defamed on rape allegations that were provably false. Okay, so you have a guy that they point a finger at and say, oh, he raped me. There's no evidence. Boom, you're out of school. Your life is fucked. But you pick up a knife and you stab another individual with intent to kill, and nobody does shit to you.
You aren't accepting the fact that women are an oppressed group by society.
Okay, who thinks this is fucking horse shit right there? This blatant horse shit. I think somebody needs to get their ass fucking kicked, and I think the ass kicking should continue until the crying fucking stops. That's just my opinion. Anyway, Terrence Popp here. Hopefully you like this one a lot better. I was having a bad day a couple days ago, but it is what it is. Take it easy.